Good morning, welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, June the 1st. We are here to look at the new releases that are published this week. And on Mondays we look at Cozy Mysteries first. Quick announcements. Again, it's Monday. I don't have any sprints on Monday. Our next sprints are Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And they go for 2 hours. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evening and Saturday afternoons. Elena says, good morning, PK and chat. Well, good morning, Elena. How you doing? She says, I am good. Good to hear. And next month is my birthday on July 30th on a Thursday. Well, something to look forward to. Not getting much closer now. All right. Without much ado, we're going to start at the end here for a couple, and then we're going to go to the beginning, which has the ones that are released earlier in the week. But we had a couple. One big one there I wanted to get to first. This one, The Dogwalkers Detective Agency by Michael Hogan. When Charlie Boardman and his beloved Staffordshire Bull Terrier Ruby stumble across a corpse in the woods, the sleepy English coastal town of Framstone is rocked by the discovery that the local pub landlord has been murdered. Charlie and his fellow dog walkers take it upon themselves to try and sniff out any clues that might help the local police with their investigation. But what starts as idle speculation and gossip quickly becomes something more sinister. Excuse me, when Charlie starts receiving anonymous threats warning him off the case. Then a second body washes up on the beach. With the help of his local Staffordshire Terrier, can Charlie hunt down the killer before he becomes the next victim? And I forgot to share. There we go. We'll give it its moment. While I glug some coffee, because apparently I need it. This is the one I was trying to get to. I think people would be interested in. It's a new Golden Girls based on the TV series. It's the second one in the series. This is called Death on the Lanai. When the girls accept a very strange invitation to a lavish party on a remote island estate, they find that murder has a way of ruining even the most glamorous of evenings. The invite delivered to 6151 Richmond Street was short on details, only promising to celebrate the greatest artist of the century and accompanied by a jewel-encrusted brooch, the whole package a brand of mysterious opulence that another Saturday night of gin rummy just can't match. Sorry, not enough information. Blanche Devereaux's passionate dalliances are as plentiful as hot southern nights, and surely one can't be expected to remember all of one's suitors. But when the girls disembark, the parties ferry at a small Biscayne Bay island and meet their secretive host, the memories come flooding back. She, a Radio City rockette in her 20s, he, the poor artist who could offer her nothing but his love. Fate drove them apart, but Declan, now a famous artist, El Toro, professes that Blanche has always been his muse. Featured prominently in his artworks and central to El Toro's return to the apex of the art world, Blanche is thrilled to have been such an inspiring figure to this man. But looking around at a party filled with those who have made their livings off the artist's fame, his assistant, his art dealer, his greatest critic, and more, Dorothy isn't so sure they're welcome on the island after all. When a tropical storm knocks power out across the island, Blanche consoles herself with the reality that everyone looks better by candlelight. But when Declan is found dead the next morning, all eyes are on her, his supposed muse of 30-plus years. Why would that be? When trapped at this state with the other guests, suspects all, the girls must band together to find the true killer and get back to pleasant evenings of card games and cheesecake. That makes no sense at all. Haven't seen him in 30 years. Give you the highest compliment that she's been the muse. Yeah, I'm going to kill him. Makes no sense. Amy says, good morning, PK and Elena. Good morning. How you doing? How's your Monday? Mary says, good morning, PK and Elena. Well, hello. Happy Monday. Another gorgeous day here in Virginia. Oh, good. We have a really nice run of beautiful days. Hey, Amy too. Glad to see you all. We had rain this weekend, which was much needed. It did knock out the power during my sprint on Saturday, which was inconvenient. But on Saturday, we got like a whole inch in an hour. Murder at the Royal Opera by Magda Alexander, fourth in the Rosalind and Steele Mysteries. London, 1889. When the Duke of Steele invites Lady Rosalind to share his box at the Royal Opera House for a performance of Rigoletto, neither expects the evening to end in blood. But as the doomed Gilda breathes her last on stage, a killer slips into the adjacent box, and Sir Edmund Hale, one of London's most ruthless industrialists, falls to a stiletto blade. Both Rosalind and Steele witness the shadowy figure flee, yet can do nothing to stop the crime. Steele expects to hand the matter to Scotland Yard and be done with it, but a summons to Windsor Palace changes everything. The victim's widow has been conducting an indiscreet affair with the Prince of Wales. Who didn't he sleep with? And Queen Victoria will not see her son's name dragged through scandal or worse, suspicion of murder. Steele and Rosalind are commanded to find the killer quietly before speculation can reach the press. And it goes on. Which reminds me that starting today, June 1st, is our month-long appreciation of historical mysteries. It's the Midsummer Hismist, and there are no prompts. Read as thou wilt. Reading just one counts. It's just to give historical mysteries a chance, because I love them. The Amberley Manor Mystery by B.D. Churston, 7th in the Lady Jane and Mrs. Forbes Mysteries. England, August 1929. Aunt Kate and Lady Jane return in another light-hearted historical cozy mystery. With Professor Perry Nash and Jane's new husband Harry on an archaeological dig, Kate and Jane attend a charity fundraising event at Amberley Manor. However, it's not long before our daring duo find themselves embroiled in a classic country house murder mystery packed with secrets and subterfuge. That's it. We like those short and sweet ones. Amy says, my Monday started off good. Awesome! Amy says, hi, Mary. A Fountain of Secrets by K.J. Emmerich, 39th in the Darcy Suite Cozy Mysteries. Darcy Suite is ready to make Misty Hollow's Midnight Book Swap the event of the year, with delicious treats, stacks of books, and a rare first edition drawing crowds. Everything is going perfectly, until it isn't. When the evening's special guest is found dead in the brand new fountain, Darcy's celebration quickly turns into a crime scene, and suddenly everyone has a story to tell. Some just aren't telling the truth. With a growing list of suspects and secrets hiding beneath Misty Hollow's charming surface, Darcy will need all her instincts and maybe a little help from beyond to uncover what really happened. And that is a pregnant lady on the cover, saying, like, what the heck happened? Anything Ghost by Jane Hinchy, 12th in the Ghost Detective. At 9 months pregnant, I had 3 things on my to-do list. Learn to tolerate decaf, pee every 10 minutes, stay out of trouble until the baby arrives. Then a dead woman walked through me in the cereal aisle. Claire Hanover, disgraced ex-vice principal turned ambitious real estate agent, died at the Firefly Bay Hotel the morning of the Coastal Property Summit. The official line is suicide. Claire's line is that she didn't jump, and she's standing barefoot in aisle 4, demanding I work out who did this to her. Lucky me. With Bandit's ongoing campaign to liberate my Fruit Loops, Thor sighing at the rest of us like he expected better staff, my hot husband detective Kate Galloway hovering like I'm made of glass, and my ghostly best friend Ben holding something back for the first time since he died, I've got days, maybe less, to find Claire's killer. Because the baby is coming. The case has roots that go back further than I ever knew, and after all this time doing this work, I'm starting to understand that some stories were always going to end where they began. End of that road. Espresso Espionage by Tanya Kappas, 20th in the Killer Coffee Mysteries. Murder is making waves in Honey Springs, Kentucky. As collegiate rowing teams arrive for the annual regatta at Lake Honey Springs, the boardwalk is buzzing with visitors. The Bean Hive Coffee House is packed, and cafe owner Roxy Bloom is serving up coffee, pastries, and southern hospitality to athletes and tourists alike. But the excitement sinks fast when a beloved rowing coach is found dead near the marina, tangled in rowing grip tape. What first appears to be a tragic accident quickly turns into murder. As gossip spreads through town, Roxy is pulled into an investigation involving rival rowing teams, secret sponsorship deals, hidden grudges, and athletes guarding dangerous secrets. The deeper she digs, the clearer it becomes that someone is willing to do anything to keep the truth buried beneath the surface. Dead on the Vine by Patty Larson, 21st in the White Witch Island Paranormal Cozies. With a well-deserved break, giving Georgia and Sam a weekend away they hadn't planned on murder, but when their escape to a vineyard turns deadly, it's up to George and her love to figure out who killed whom while doing their best not to clash over their new powers, their fresh dynamic, and all the complications that come with love in the middle of a homicide investigation. As one does. As one does. Murder and Court, 8th in the Taco Truck Mysteries by Dennis Schock. Oh, this is the end of the series. In the stunning conclusion to the series, Kira has been arrested for murder. Stuck behind bars for a murder she didn't commit, Kira can't see a way out and pushes both Ray and her friends away. Despite Kira's attempts to distance herself, Sid refuses to sit back and remains determined to prove Kira's innocent. She and Trent throw themselves into the investigation, potentially risking their jobs in the process. While Sid works to uncover the truth, Ray is nowhere to be found after disappearing without a word. Will Sid and Trent solve the mystery before Kira's fast-track trial? Or has Kira's past finally caught up with her? The truths uncovered provide a shocking end to this series. The Celluloid Sentry by Anna Elliott and Charles Ville. I have read the first one in this. I got to get back to it. It is good. 10th in the Homefront Sleuths Cozy Mystery Series. June 1942 brings rare excitement to Crofters Green when the Ministry of Information's Crown Film Unit arrives to shoot a patriotic film, Medal for Our Men. Soon the quiet village is swarming with actors, cameras, cables, and more drama than any script could hold, but the glamour fades fast. When a young Home Guard sentry is found murdered near the ruins of St. Swithin's Abbey, his body wrapped in celluloid film, the Homefront sleuths know the film crew has brought more than movie magic to their peaceful corner of Kent. The only clues? A film canister the victim tried to hide, a scrap of paper covered in code, and a film set where everyone seems to be acting. As Evie, Alice, Dorothy, and Alfie quietly gather clues among the temperamental cast and suspicious crew, Harry and Nigel begin untangling a web of lies. Meanwhile, Blake and Catherine race to decipher a cryptic message that hints the chaos on set is no accident, because hiding behind the Klieg lights is a far more dangerous production. End of that row. Ghostly Group Chat by Kristen Brand, 4th in the Text from Beyond. Sydney Farina has a gift nobody asked for. Dead people text her. It's how she solved multiple murders, saved her sister from a wrongful conviction, and accumulated enough trauma to keep a therapist in business for years. So when she finds her sister's cheating ex-husband stabbed in his own bed, she's not surprised when his ghost shows up in her messages. Brett Epworth was many things. Narcissist, manipulator, world-class thorn in Sydney's side, and apparently he's just as insufferable dead as he was alive. He doesn't believe he's been murdered, and Sydney has to pick out useful information between his insults and self-praise, but he's also, infuriatingly, her best lead. Between a former employee stealing her bakery's recipes, a new living situation with her boyfriend, and a suspect list that keeps getting shorter and more dangerous, Sydney has her hands full. And as she digs deeper into the Epworth family secrets, one thing becomes terrifyingly clear. The killer isn't done yet. Mystery at the Wedding by Claire Chase, 16th in the Eve Mallow Mysteries. The wedding was meant to unite two warring families, but when it ends in murder, Eve Mallow must solve the crime and save the day. The Dennings and the Cadys have been at war for years, ever since Russell Cady and Marcus Denning fell out and the business they built together fell apart. But now Russell's daughter and Marcus's son are tying the knot and hopefully bringing peace. Except that someone's sent Eve Mallow a warning along with her wedding invitation. Watch out for trouble. But even she didn't expect to find the father of the bride dead in his bed before he can walk his daughter down the aisle. So who's ruined the big day? Is it Marcus, his former enemy, his two older children who fought with him before he died, or the woman Eve saw weeping who swears she never met? They never met. Eve is left with a bouquet of mismatched clues to piece together. The umbrella is left out on a sunny day, Russell's missing camera, and his threat to change his will. And when a second mysterious death puts the icing on the cake, Eve makes her own vow. Death will not part the happy couple. But can she track down the killer, or will the wedding bells ring for her funeral instead? That's kind of pushing the metaphor, but oh well. They didn't ask me. Crystals and Conspiracies by Beth Dulgner. Fourth in the Crones of a Feather, Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. Hazel Underwood and Adeline Beaumont do not get along, but the vampire who runs the local magic store will have to put her trust in Hazel when someone is murdered in the store and Adeline is blamed for it. A vengeful customer might have framed Adeline, but Hazel begins to hear whispers of something much more sinister happening in the small magical town. Is there dark magic at work in Foxfire Haven, Washington? It will take the combined efforts of Hazel and her coven to uncover the truth and clear Adeline's name. At the same time, Hazel is on the brink of losing control of her magic as paranormal activity at home gets dangerous. ... Ooh, nice and short. October Underground. 10th in the Tim Brown Mysteries by Jan Fancy Hull. In the 10th month of a sabbatical year, Tim Brown finds it harder and harder to resist blandishments, as one does. On one side, important decisions need to be made at the newspaper he publishes. On the other, his Aunt Stella wants to rope him into helping her in a scheme about which he has strong doubts, and stronger doubts about the role she wants him to play. And that's it. That's all it says. End of that row. Moving right along. Buried Clues. Whoops, it jumped. By Ed Linsky. Set in the small village of Cat's Paw, Virginia. Plucky and resourceful, Juno Patchen operates her family truck farm in... Are they growing little baby trucks? No, they're not. In the Blue Ridge Mountains, and sells her produce at the weekly farmer's market. Her athletic cousin and godmother, Fern McPhee, and outspoken mother, Rhoda McPhee, help Juno while her 7-year-old son, Chip, pitches in whenever he can. The lurid murder of local resident Cleet Copperthite throws everybody into a tizzy, none more so than the befuddled Sheriff Goose Dixon, who's also Juno's fiancé. Sorry, I could not marry somebody named Goose. Well, unless it was Top Gun. He persuades her to lend him a hand with investigating Cleet's homicide. Juno's ex-Holt Patchen, a struggling country music star, further complicates her life. And then it's Burbage. I don't know, for some reason those words just did not come together easily. The Thing About Amanda by Lise McClendon. She's still writing. 22nd in the Bennett Sisters Mysteries. When Merle Bennett's holiday plans are upended by her mother's illness, she finds herself grounded in the United States and unexpectedly drawn into a mystery she can't let go. Through a steady exchange of letters and emails with her partner Pascal back in France, Merle begins to unspool The story of Amanda, her late husband Harry's elderly aunt, now serving time in prison for the death of her husband Clifton, a woman who raised Harry after his parents died, a woman with secrets. What really happened on that dark night on Long Island when a car slid into an oak tree on a dangerous curve and left a child an orphan? The accident was never investigated. No one seemed to ask why, and the more Merle asked, the more the silence around the that night begins to feel deliberate. Armed with curiosity, old newspaper clippings, and the tenacious support of her sisters, Merle traces the threads of a decades-old story, piecing together interviews, documents, and long-buried memories to understand the forces that shaped Harry's life long before she ever knew him. I'm armed with curiosity. Stand back. A Diamond Deception by Clara C. Croft. 8th in the Karen McLaren Cozy Mysteries. It's another beautiful day in Castillo, a small village on the Spanish coast. As well as running the Sylvia Beach second-hand bookshop, Karen McLaren has branched out into occasionally catering for local events. As a cochlear implant wearer, the work of Costa Communications is close to her heart, and so she's only too happy to help out at their annual conference. The head of the agency, which provides sign language interpreters throughout the Costa del Sol, is Andreas Ruiz. As he begins his keynote address, Karen notices that he looks ill at ease. He's clearly suffering, and he only manages to speak for a short time before he keels over, dead. Comisario Hernandez and his local police force declare the incident to be death by natural causes. It certainly looks to be the case. Ruiz had underlying health issues, and the CCTV footage from the event reveals nothing that looks untoward. Karen, though, has her doubts. Can she convince her friends in the Jimi Hendrix Supper Club that there is more to the tragedy than meets the eye? And if it's a murder, then who would want to dispense with somebody who appears to be such an upstanding member of the community? Could there be a conspiracy which is far more wide-reaching? To uncover the truth, Karen must scrape beneath the surface of Costa Communications, work out exactly how Andreas Ruiz is connected to the bigger picture, and face a range of people who are keen to keep the truth buried. Can she find an answer before the trail runs cold? Let's do one more just to keep it even though the bell has rung. We'll do this quick. Murder and the Missing Treasure by C.J. Archer, 12th in the Cleopatra Fox Murders Mysteries. A pirate's treasure, lost for decades, lures the greedy and adventurer alike. Did someone commit murder to get their hands on it? When the celebrated biographer of the infamous pirate Blackheart takes a suite at the Mayfair Hotel to live out his final months, Goliath the porter is desperate to ask the one question that has haunted treasure hunters for decades: where is the loot buried? Forbidden to disturb a guest, he instead visits the man writing the author's own life story, only to discover him dead at his desk. Accused of the crime, Goliath turns to Cleo and Harry to clear his name. As they investigate, the danger escalates when a description of Goliath is splashed across the front page of the newspapers. It's only a matter of time before someone connects the hotel porter to the manhunt and to Harry, who is secretly hiding him, etc. Alright, there. End of that row. We ended on a row. Everybody remember, we ended on Cleopatra. Alright. That is it. Mary says, our excitement over the weekend, a restaurant downtown, a taqueria burned. Oh no. Located right next to the train station. No one was hurt. Well, that's good, but a pet. Oh no. Did he die? Lucky it didn't burn down the entire block. Well, true, but oh my goodness. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure to see you and our mighty audience, our small but mighty. Hope everyone has a great week. I volunteered at the library this week. Oh, how fun. Woohoo. Alright, that is 8. We'll be here Wednesday to look at the crime fiction and thrillers, and then again on Friday to wrap up the rest of the cozy mysteries. As mentioned, Mary, hope you have a good day. And Amy says, thanks, PK. You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Have a good Monday. Again, our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Read good books, stay safe, and as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.